will hate her, and then she'll lose all their followers, and then we'll do this, that and the other. I can probably 100% say that there will be a message that's been spoken on like that about me, because we know in the past she's come on and just said stuff out of her mouth that's not true, not with one receipt, nothing. And while they're in that group, the cult, they don't see outside of that. They just see and hear what she tells them, and then they go on that fact. They see her as the receipt. She's not a receipt. There is not one receipt for any of the things. It's like when I had that one in my inbox accusing me of doxing an article. Fucking doxing an article. It's public. Number one, site there for everyone to see if they wanted to. It didn't take 5 minutes. But she forgets, because obviously she's a shit liar, that back in the day she was telling everyone that there was an article about her in that situation. She told everyone that openly on the forum. Now, I never knew about the article until it was someone within our community who's now not been in it for years. And they told me about it, and I'd known about it all this time. And I commented on that, and that then warranted the message in my inbox about me having doxed it, and they've got proof. You can't prove something like that unless you are a fucking police officer, right? And you have access to the digital forensics that can do that. But if I had have done it, I would have absolutely owned it and said I'd done it. Because I don't have any problem with saying that I've said it or I've done it. Looking back, I think I wish I'd have done it. Because I'm going to be accused of it anyway. May as well have just done it, hadn't I? Anyway, that's the point. That I can guarantee that there'll be a voice note like that about Becca Smith saying, oh, we'll do this, and then people will turn against her. Oh, we're going to do this, or we're going to say that, and in the hope that they're going to do that. But no matter what fucking happens on this planet, right, I'm still here. Right, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm a stubborn cow, and the more someone goads me to do something, or not do something, or tries to get rid of me, the more stubborn I am, and I will stay. And if you tell me I can't be friends with someone, as it pertains to this person, that's what she does. She controls everybody. Well, you can't do that. You can't speak to them. You can't do that. If you're doing that, it makes me feel unfucking comfortable, because she can't act like an adult. So everyone makes her uncomfortable. But if you said don't do that, I'd do it. I'd just do it because you've told me not to. So I do wish I had leaked that article now, simply because I was accused of it. But I can guarantee the voice note is there somewhere saying, oh, let's say this about After Dark, because then, you know, in her mind, she's hoping that my platform will collapse and that everyone will leave me. Well, I hate to break your heart, darling, but there's still people that come in here that watch both you and me, and some of them don't comment because they just don't want the shit from you telling them where they can and where they can't go. And I know that they go to both because I've spoken to them. So that didn't work. But, you know, if that voice note ever materialises, I'd love to hear it. I'm pretty sure there is one. There has to be. Because now we're going to hear. So this one we've heard. I'm going to play it for you. And this one isn't troublesome like the other one, right? This is not troublesome. This is just about trying to throw a bit of discourse amongst some people, some friends, because she's not liking what is being said. And I can guarantee now that the numbers that are in here are her lot watching, probably in here. The ones that want to feed back to her. And I've been working ever so hard to get a 5-day rant out of her, but it's not worked. Maybe this one will do it. Who knows? So let me play this one. This one, like I said, this isn't the one that's really troublesome. This is just an example of the planning and the manipulation that she's trying to do to other people to serve a purpose, to serve her, whilst on fucking holiday. No less. Let's not enjoy our holiday and have a nice time. Let's be talking about people on the app and see how we can just, throw people together and then make them fall out and make them do that. That's the thing that's the troublesome thing. And this is at the minor end of that. So fuck knows what goes on in the middle and to what extreme it can go to with her. Because at this point, she is a danger to the internet, she is a danger to vulnerable people because she continuously fucking picks holes in those that are disabled. Like, she's made plenty of comments about me. Yes, tonight I'm in my bed, Miss Comment. Do you know what I mean? I am in my bed. Okay? Go fuck yourself. Because that's probably what you do anyway, isn't it? Because no one wants to touch her. Perhaps maybe your ex might, but, you know, that's all you've got. So yes, I'm in my bed. She doesn't know anything about my life. She doesn't know if I'm well or not. She just is, you know, frustrated that she thinks that I don't leave the bed. But if you watch my content and you know me and you're in here, you know that's not true. And then she attacks people all the time because of their disabilities, or she'll use something against them that she's told them. And she's making people's lives miserable, and she's cutting communities off. This is someone who is dangerous. This is someone who is making hate crimes against people who have disability. She's very homophobic. She is obsessed with people that are in same-sex relationships. She's obsessed with my same-sex relationship because she thinks, oh, I want to, because I'm in a same-sex relationship. Wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole or a 20-foot pole. You know. But the thing is, she's happy to go targeting everyone by how they look or by how broken they are and break them a bit more. But if you dare comment on her, oh, hell no. That's bullying, isn't it? And I don't normally comment on people's looks because I always think, do you know what? When you do that, you've lost your battle, right? You can talk about me. I don't care if you think I've got a potato head. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I've got people in my world that love me and that have been in my world consistently. They haven't just left and fallen out. I don't fall out with people at the same rate that you do. In fact, I rarely fall out with people. In my whole time on this app, there has been you and two others, one of which is a repaired relationship now, and the other one was a bit of a stalker. And not for me, and I couldn't welcome that back, in a bit of a shit stirrer. And that's it in all my time on this app. I had a little bit of beef with Becca Smith in the beginning, but who incited that? That was you. You incited that. And you also then tried to, looking back at that, and there's probably a voice note to that effect somewhere, but inserting yourself and then trying to separate and then cause a discourse, so that when you then boot that person out, you've already then created this isolating them away from, like, myself, you know, from myself at the time, so that when you were done with her, you would think, oh no, she won't have anywhere to go. Well, you know, I'm quite forgiving when, you know, for some people. And obviously there was a bit of beef that time with Becca, and she was very forgiving for me, and it was your fault because you instigated it all. And at that time, you were quite different then. You weren't as bad, but still, it was a big red flag, and one I ignored because I was trying to speak up and defend you, because you gave me the impression, thank you, Anne, you gave me the impression that that these were these horrible people, and I didn't know them from Adam, and they'd been giving you hell. But it didn't last very long, because I'm very communicative, and I was talking, and I soon resolved that with them. And then you decided to come in and resolve it, and then you saw money, and that was it. You turned into a monster. Anyway, so I'm going to play this first, just because it's like the lowest end of the scale. Most people have probably heard the other one. I'm going to play it anyway, and then we're going to talk on it because it disturbs me. So let's just hear the audio.
I just need to decide what to do next with it, because obviously I've got a full address. I don't really want to dox her online, because otherwise people may dox me back. But I will make a full police report, and I will go into her.
So what's scary about that bit there, right? She says, I don't want to dox, I want to dox her because she might dox my address. Well, your address was doxed on the internet, wasn't it? So you're not that bothered anymore, because now you've got the free reign to dox whoever the fuck you want. So you'll probably do that now. That's concerning, isn't it? Because before you didn't want to be doxed yourself, and you obviously know what that would feel like. So why would you dox anybody on the internet? Why would you? I don't understand. And this is just private conversations. This is just the tip of the iceberg. These are the things that we've been getting and been privy to. I dread to think. I really dread to think what the fuck is going on over there. Especially when people are so, like, you know, when I received that message that I shared with you guys the other day, like, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm really not interested. Like, if she's got a problem, she can find a way to, she can email me. I can't block her from that, can I? So if she's got a problem, she can come and speak to me directly. She doesn't have to send a gang after me because I'm really not bothered. Big enough and ugly enough and 47 years old, I can handle it. Do you know what I mean? I can handle any abuse that you throw at me. Fill your boots. Don't care. Anyway, we'll carry on. So yeah, she's become a danger now because obviously her address was doxed. One that I now have. Not that I would dox or put out there, but I have it for my purposes. I've said this before, and as I said, I own these things. I have it. So if there's anything that I need to report to the police or anyone else needs to report to the police, the address can be given so they know exactly which Hayley Williams they're dealing with, because there is quite a few. And, you know, I would obviously not give it to them directly. They may already have it themselves. I would say, well, who have you sent it to? Which police force? And I will send it on to the police force for you, so that I wouldn't be doxing her to anyone else that doesn't have the address. I would do it that way. But, you know, that turned out to work out quite well, didn't it?
Spotted page, and I will just say the whole thing. I'm just a little bit curious about why Beth O and Adele would say it was New Generation, because I also don't trust them. Adele is a spiteful little prick, but I will at least plant the seeds online. And
so Adele is apparently a spiteful prick. What am I? A double spiteful prick? Probably. Do I care? Not really, no. Not at all. But again, this is how she's talking about people, because they dare to have a differing opinion, or they want to do something that's opposite what they're doing.
Say I've been contacted by Adele and Beth O to tell me that it was New Generation behind that account, which will get loads of people to hate New Generation online, but will also get them to turn on each other, which I think will be quite clever.
The thing is, Hayley, comment, you're not clever, are you? Not at all. Because these things don't work. So this is just a bit of scheming, isn't it? To cause a bit of discourse through friendships, I guess. Friendships that have come together, or they were at the time, don't know if they still are, but they come together because they've got something in common, and that is spotlighting your issues and the things that you've done that they, you know, that they feel are wrong. Like, because I will only talk on what I think is wrong. So when the pictures of that young girl, I'm not going to say her name, I'm not bringing the name up, I don't want to start that. But when you put those pictures up of the young girl, deceased, on your platform, like I said, you could have been fucking King Charles, you could have been my doctor, you could have been anyone. I would have had an opinion on it, because that shouldn't be what we're doing. That's not what creation should be. That's money hungry. Because you know that there are people on this app that want to see that kind of thing. Now, there are places that they can go to see these kinds of things, right? They don't need it on your platform where any child could scroll along and see that. Any child. No child, or someone who's a bit squeamish in their 50s, they don't want to see it. But it was posted with intention that it would become viral. And when it becomes a viral video, you know, I know, it goes on the FYP and anyone can stumble into it. And that's not what we should be doing. We should be respecting the deceased. It's not our culture. It might be their culture to do that in their country, but it's not the culture here. And it's up to the family to post on social media if that's what they want to do. And the regions would generally be their regions that would capture it. But no, you still went ahead and did it because you wanted the money and you wanted the likes and you wanted the views. I would rather just be boring and miss out on all the views and all the likes and everything else, because when I cover something, I want it to be done respectfully, factually, as best as I can. And if I get something wrong, I will correct it in the next video. Or if I can and I catch it first, I will delete and re-edit. Because we all get things wrong, right? Everyone does. No one is perfect. I've got my degree, but that doesn't make me perfect. And it's a real degree that I would be happy to share, redacted, obviously, where I did it. But it would give you the name of the degree. And I would probably redact out my full name, but I would put, everyone would know my first name if they've seen me in that documentary, you know, the one that I wasn't banned from, because they used my first name. But I would be happy, if anyone needed to see that, I'd be happy to show it. Anyone wanted proof that I was in the Special Constabulary and did trying to cause discord, problems amongst people because they've got something against you and you think it's quite clever. That's not really very clever. It's not really brain power, is it? You know, it's not like it's something that anyone else couldn't have thought up. And this is adults, by the way. This is adults doing this. This is adults. This is an adult woman. It's not the playground anymore. Well, it is in its TikTok playground, but it's the level of which that they're willing to go. So that was just the start. Let me just finish this.
Definitely. I'm just enjoying my last night here, and then I'm going to head home first thing in the morning. I'll send you a picture of the view in a minute. Hang on.
So that planning, scheming and nastiness comes while she's on holiday. No, she doesn't. And if you dare say anything that doesn't align with her or you question her, you're blocked. And the reason why, especially if they ask her about her degree, they're blocked because she doesn't have one. If you are using your degree, so if I was using my degree and saying, oh, you know, I've got a degree in psychology, so therefore I'm qualified to talk about this and I'm qualified to talk about that, I would be expected if someone asked me, especially a family, to show it, because that's what I'm using as my credentials. I have it on my bio because I have the degree, but I don't use the degree to further my content on TikTok. I don't need to. I just like to mention that I have it and it's real, just as a dig, because I can do that because it is very real. I worked very, very hard for it, and at least I have one. Anyway, so that's at the minor end of the scale. Playground talk, you know, let's throw such a body under the bus and then blame such a body. It's not really that intelligent. You don't need a degree to come up.
Play it all the way through, because there's a couple of people who've missed bits because she talks fast. So could you just play it all the way through so people can catch the whole thing?
Okay.
Before you carry on. Thank you, my lovely.
We'll have all the digs.
I just need to decide what to do next with it, because obviously I've got a full address. I don't really want to dox her online because otherwise people may dox me back. But I will make a full police report, and I will bid for a local spotted page, and I will just say the whole thing. I'm just a little bit curious about why Beth O and Adele would say it was New Generation, because I also don't trust them. Adele is a spiteful little prick. But I will at least plant the seeds online and say I've been contacted by Adele and Beth O to tell me it was New Generation behind that account, which will get loads of people to hate New Generation online, but will also get them to turn on each other, which I think will be quite clever and quite funny. I'm just enjoying my last night here, and then I'm going to head home first thing in the morning. I'll send you a picture of the view in a minute. Hang on. I just need to decide what to do.
Hey, Jen. Hope you're all right. Hope you are doing all right. So, in that as well, when I just replayed it, it just triggered something that I wanted to say about it. Oh yeah, the fact that she would roll out of her mouth, I'm going to say that Adele and Betho have contacted me knowing full well she wouldn't have the receipt for it, but she would say it and everyone over that way would believe it. But there would not be a receipt, because in that instance, you hear it from her mouth that she is saying, well, I'm just going to say it, but nothing to back it up. And the thing is, no one ever asks her to back it up. And if anyone does, they get blocked. So that's a prime example of her just rolling stuff off her tongue with nothing to back it up to cause harm to other people and their friendships. Because what have they got in common at that time? They didn't like you. So what are you going to try and do? You're going to try and upset the apple cart and try and be clever. Like I said, it's not intelligent. That's the sort of thing kids think up in the playground, right? And, friendships end. I couldn't tell you whether they're all friends or not anymore. But the concern for me is very much that this just rolls off your tongue with no receipts, and people will just not hold you accountable for it. That's just a prime example of a non-receipt allegation that is made. It's like when the comments come in and stuff, and they come in and they're spouting stuff, you can tell it's come from her and it's been spun from her mouth and it's been regurgitated exactly in the way that she has put it out there. Let me just go through the comments. So, like I said, that's at the minor end of the scale. That's over there, right? That's playground stuff. But like I said, there's concerning points in that. Okay, now give me a minute while I hunt for the other one. I know it won't take me a minute. I don't know if is that it.
I don't even trust people anymore.
Nope, that's not the one.
Get Hayley off this up.
Let me go to. Oh my God, there's me like, yeah, it'll be there, like it'll be there straight away. Hang on, what camera is this? No. Oh, bollocks. And I can't even, I think. Let me just do my face ID. Bugger off. Oh, fuck off. I don't want to do it.
AD's doing that just for a minute while she's hunting.
I'm trying to get into my other account because then I can find people, you see.
What irritates me is the fact that when everybody was showing all their receipts about her behaviour, she was complaining that people weren't showing receipts and that there was no evidence of her poor behaviour, and that people were in there not asking for more receipts and all the rest of it. And
we all saw these at Christmas, but I found that they were quite...
was massive. And yeah, she was saying, well, people should have been asking for the receipts. They should have been asking for this. They should have been... Yeah, if you're in her live and you dare ask her for a receipt about something she is claiming to be truth, and she will convincingly state something is blue if it's bright pink, because we've seen, anybody who's been in a live at any point or seen a clip that's been sent to you, she will state something so convincingly you think even she believes it. And anybody dares to question her, have a difference of opinion, ask her for a receipt on something, she just blocks you. So she surrounds herself with yes people.
Yeah, she does. Okay. Righty-ho. I have it. Buckle up, guys. Buckle up.
this point, I'm just going to get someone to go do a paedophile sting on her because she's obsessed with children. I'll get someone to turn up at her house and just go, oh my God, Kiki, you messaged 12-year-old boys yesterday, and then I'll just make a video, game over.
Beautiful women, I look at you and I know how you look at me, but you're expecting me to say something, and I'm seeing other women trying to say something on this app and they don't have as big a platform.
Let me just pause it there because I want to address the main part of this, right, is that message. A message that she is having a conversation with people behind the scenes, plotting and planning to have someone set up as a pedo. Who does that? What normal person thinks, oh, do you know what? I really fucking hate that person. So actually, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to have them a target, because that's exactly what that would do. If she put into place what she has just stated in that voice message, she puts the person, and we know who it's aimed at, she puts that person at risk. What? Because your voice notes are being released? Because you're an idiot and you're an asshole? You said it. If you've said it and it gets released. When I was in contact with you and we were friends, before you got into all this drama shit, I always said, do not write anything or say anything that you do not want anybody to throw back at you. Right? That is the best bit of advice I could give anyone, and I give it to anyone now. However, you do just say these things and then they get leaked and then you get hurt by it and then you start to plot and plan. Not only that, you're plotting and planning that, but you're also plotting and planning minor things like trying to cause discourse between mates. And then there's this level, and I fucking dread to think how far you would go. Because that on its own is really concerning. That's inciting hate towards somebody. That puts them at risk. You make them a target. How would you like it? You're the first one to cry, oh, I'm in danger. Well, we know you're not in danger anymore, don't we? Because we know. We now know, well, we knew anyway, but we definitely know now that we've all been like, well, not me personally, but everyone that you've told that that you're having these issues and that you're a DV victim. We know that's not really the case, is it? Because you have the perpetrator in your home. You had him move you from your alleged safe house. Put other people at risk, because that's how fucking selfish you are. That's if that was a safe house and not your sister's house. However, this is how easy the lies roll, and this is how easy it is for the yes people, because they'll just believe it. So for her to say that is really concerning to me. That is worth a police report, and I do hope that the person that is aimed at does put in a police report. Because it's sick. I don't know how anybody could do it. Or be that fucking arrogant and that... I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Be that... Anybody could do it. Or be that fucking arrogant and that... I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Be that jilted by people. Because the thing is, if you upset people, right, they're going to do this to you, right? And you seem to upset everybody. Literally. I mean, there's people that was in your corner and I never thought I'd see the day. And I've seen the day on several of those who I thought were long-term friends that you wouldn't ever fall out with. I thought maybe you can keep a friendship for, a real friendship, but you can't. Trust nobody is what you said in another voice message. And to be fair, that would be a bit of advice. People on the internet that you've never met, you know, be careful, because look how many people, you know, trust her and look at what she's doing. You can't trust her. Can't trust what comes out of her mouth. Bring the receipts. If you haven't got a receipt, don't say it. But to threaten to set someone up, I don't know how old this person is, but I think they're probably half your age. They are a vulnerable adult. They are a vulnerable target. And you're quite happy to put them at risk because you don't like the fact that your voice messages are being leaked. Look closer to home, because clearly there is someone in your fold that is leaking this stuff happily. The thing is, we know how this goes. And this is why I say I 120% wholly believe somewhere in the files of all the messages that have ever been sent, there will be messages in there that will say, do you know what? Let's say that After Dark done this, because I then will destroy her platform. That's clever, isn't it? That's not clever because you failed. I think I dropped, the first time you did it, I think I dropped like maybe 100, but then I worked extra hard and I came back and I got thousands. So, do you know what I mean? Because I'm a stubborn bitch. Now, normally, you know, I just think, oh, well, fuck it. But I thought, no, I'll prove you wrong, and I did. I'm still here. But as a true crime content creator, that you say you are, although I think you are more drama, and I think you like the drama, I'll be honest, because you're narcissistic. I think you like the drama, and I think you like that it pays you money. And the sad thing is, you know, we hear that you're begging, and that, you know, you're then pleading, well, if you don't give me, like, do you know what I mean? I'm going to have to get a job. So you're holding what people, a lot of your followers, you're holding that over their heads, because you know that when you come on, whether it's in the daytime or the nighttime, there are people that come on purely for your community, to be with the people that they've met in there and have a chit chat, because they haven't yet seen the light, and they do, and they will. Let's face it, everyone does. But this is what you're treating. This is how you're manipulating people. Well, I have to get a job. Get a fucking job. It means you'd have to leave your house, and you'd have to leave that dirty pink chair that you sit on all day. But get a job. And this is all whilst you're earning a massive amount on subscribers. That on its own should be enough. But it's never enough. And therefore, you then plead, and then you beg. And it's like when you wanted to get your name trademarked. Who wants your fucking name? You can't, there's nothing you can do. If I want to play some content of yours and I talk about it and I'm doing what I'm doing now, I can do it. It doesn't stop people talking about you, and no one's going to take that name from you. Well, except for maybe Sniffney Williams. They took a couple of names from you. Quite amusing. But not because they want it. Not because they want the association of it with you. Absolutely not. Yes, and she reads off the Sun. So, like yesterday, I was very clever, you see. So when we heard up about Madison Allen Smith, whatever she is, I don't know, she's changed to Smith. The first report on it, like immediately, was in the Sun paper. So what she'd done, because it was sent to me, was crop that bit off so it didn't look like it was from the Sun newspaper. And it was from the Sun newspaper because the authors were the same, and everything else was the same. It was from the Sun. Now, I don't trust the Sun paper whatsoever. Wouldn't trust it as far as you could throw it. If I see a headline in the Sun, I'll go look for something else. And when I did, there actually was no further reporting on it for a little bit, and then a little bit after there was. So then I went with some information. But I certainly weren't going to take it from the Sun newspaper. Cropping it didn't mean, just got to compare the authors of the article in that paper, and and I knew, and it was the same format. It just missed like the Sun. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we don't follow the Sun. The Sun is a shit paper full of bollocks. But you've just got to be nicer to people. Don't be... Because the thing is, right, let's just say you did do what you said in that voice note, and you made those comments to someone, and you had that set up, and then something awful happened to the person that you've set this up on. Because we've seen it recently, actually, where there was a sting on someone, they got the wrong person. And now that person has been deemed by everyone else because the hunters went after them. And now they don't believe that person is innocent. Because all the hunters were there and the police came, and that has almost destroyed someone. So how would you feel? And this is where I think one day I'll be talking on her in prison, as in like she's going to do something, whether it's coercive control behaviour that's led someone to take their own life, because I think she does that, or whether or not she does something like she planned there with Kiki, to just throw her under the bus like that, and something happened to her. What would you do? What would you do if something terrible happened and then that was a murder investigation and it was something that you set up? You, the true crime content creator, who's supposed to be empathetic. My chickens have got more empathy. Say that lightly. She doesn't spend hours researching cases, right? Because if you look at her day, right, she's got to get up, she's got kids to sort out, and that's parenting. That's not talking on her kids. This is her parenting, okay? So she's got some parenting to do in the morning. Then she's on live in the daytime. At what point is she researching when she is live, unless she's just kind of reading through and telling you what she's reading? That's not research, that's just doing shit while she's on live. And then there's the afternoon parenting, where you go get them from school, bring them home, and then you just shove them in the corner with their dinner. And then when they ask for your attention, you're busy on live. And that's parenting that we've seen on the app that's been screen recorded, where your children have asked for attention and you've told them to go away. That's not talking on your children. That is talking on your parenting. Now, most other people wouldn't do that. And that's not, it's not an illegal thing. It's not going to get you in trouble with social services. All that other stuff that goes on in your life might, the white powder and that could. But as long as they're fed, clean, taken to school, and doing their homework, and you're giving them the bare minimum, which is what I think they get in your parenting, the bare minimum, that's fine. So in between that, you've got your 8 hours of research before you then go live at night. The math ain't mathing. The hours aren't houring. And I use that word parenting because she's very clever, because she'll probably do a little rant. She might not, because I've tried to poke her into doing it for days now, and it's just, with my digs and that, but not biting, because it's never the same, because then I know I've hit a nerve. But it's not when people are making comments on your parenting, they're not discussing your children, because I don't know, I vaguely have one name in my mind that I've heard bantered around, but I don't know them. How would I talk on people that I've never met, that I don't know? The only thing I know that I've heard is them asking for attention. And a lot of people have spoken on it, because I didn't really know about Tattle, until think it was last year, because that was when someone accused me of being in there. I'm not in there. I ain't got a membership. But if anyone has got a membership in the old tattle group, do send me one, because I'd love to get in there under a, fake name and comment in the thread. And there's lots of people in there commenting on your parenting. They don't discuss the children because they don't know them. I don't know anything about them other than that you're their mother and that you give the bare minimum parenting with your 8 hours of research and then your mammoth lives in between, because you are addicted to this app and you are addicted to manipulation and getting people to gift you because you cry on live. Because crying works. Or you threaten that you won't be able to come on the app anymore because you'll have to get a job. Or you'd have to change your hours a bit. Knowing people that are desperate, that are, have disabilities, that don't leave the house, that use your lives as a place to, hang out with people that they know, that, and they're stuck with you because they just take on board what you say. So, as a parent, if I was a health visitor or a social worker, I'd have things that I would be commenting on about, time spent. Because when my children were young, I used to go out with them for hours. After school, we'd go to a park. We'd do homework. So many things that you have to do. I wouldn't have had time, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have had time to be on this app and be a parent to younger children. Right? I have my grandbaby for 1 day a week. And the app pretty much gets forgotten when I've got her. And I already have things lined up to post, right? Because, I have things that I have scheduled, or I have things that I've done the videos on, I just haven't posted yet because, like the one in Norwich with the murder. Now, I'd seen that the perpetrator had been named, but he hadn't been charged. And so I'd already done the video, but unlike you, I kept the video hidden until he was charged. Because if you follow Ish as best you can the media guidelines, they shouldn't really publish his name. So I wasn't going to publish someone's name in case he was released on bail with no further action, or bail, no further action, or nothing to see here, go back home. Because then I would look like an arsehole, wouldn't I, putting his name out there? So I waited. So I have plenty of videos like that sit there waiting. It's not because I'm behind or I'm not dedicated enough. I just make sure I post them at the right time and I prioritise what needs to go out. Because I don't need to post 20 times a day. I'll post when I want, but I have them ready. So when I have days where I've got the grandbaby, I can just put them out there. They're there. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Cole. So that's what I do. I spend time with her. And I assume when she starts school, which will be a little while yet, she'll be 4 at the end of the year. So she'll fall into the next school year. But I'm pretty sure that we'll be picking her up after school and she'll be having dinner here and she'll all be sorted before I come on this app. Like in bed. One, so she doesn't hear what we're talking about, because that's the other problem, isn't it? Parenting, you shouldn't even be talking about this sort of stuff. When there's little ears that repeat what you say, that's not talking about your children, that's talking about you and your parenting. And there's plenty of people that have observed that. It's not just an after dark thing that, a bit of vengeance or anything. It is what it is. I see it, so I'll say it, and that's what I see, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't know where you're getting your hours from, my love, but if you could send some my way, because I don't even have young children. Like mine, mine are of the age now where they'll go out. It's like a bloody hotel. They're boys, right? They come, they go to school, they come home, they go to the girlfriend, they come home, and they're in and out, right? Occasionally you might hear him in the bath when he gets home in the evening. And if you say like, oh, how was your day? Or if you say, well, we're going to go to the cinema, do you want to come? What are we going to see? Nah, it's all right. No. So that's your parenting love. That's not talking about people I don't know, because I don't know them. I only know what I've heard. And I've heard plenty of recordings where it's very inappropriate. And I do believe someone made a referral to social services. I can't remember which account it was. Well, I say well done. Maybe you need a bit of extra support. Maybe you need a bit of therapy so that you're not on the app all the time, so that you're not bloody, I don't know, so that you're not, I don't know. You need something other than snow. You need something. And like I said, when you start talking about people's looks, you're losing your argument, right? And you do that all the time. Or you're talking about their genital areas. You are obsessed. You would be Freud's perfect. We'll just call you a specimen, really, because that's what you would be. Because you've got these fixations on body parts, and then you deny that you've said it, and then someone will post it and prove that you said it. Because when they talk about you, all of these FYP clips and, the other pages, Sniffany Williams and Fresh Clips and all those kinds of people, they have the recordings. And so when you deny something, they'll post it. But to say that about someone and to threaten to set someone up as a peddler, you're sick. There is something really not right upstairs for you to do that. It's not safe. And for someone who cares, apparently, and advocates, and is a true crime content creator, threatening someone with something like that, as serious as that, ruins lives. And yet you sounded quite happy to do it. Let's just play the rest of this. Bloody hell.
Or they're shot down. I'm thinking, how dare I cover the cases of the women that didn't make it, but then not talk on this? How dare I have an account that I've built up on this internet of the stories of these ladies that didn't make it
So let's be clear, you built up your account initially on true crime, then you joined the drama community, so you found yourself amongst all the drama people, because whenever you had any backlash off anyone, the first thing you did the next day would be to run around all of the boxes of Miss Red, Corey, whoever else is in that. That'd be the first thing. You'd gather up all the people you would claim would be your friend, and you'd be straight over there, and gathering them up, and then you'd beef with them and fall out with them, and then you'd get some guy from that community that you fancied and they just didn't fancy you back, so then you fell out with them, and that's how you built up. All right, you have used that community to build up a bigger part of your platform through the drama. That's where a lot of it's come from, because let's face it, your page is mostly drama. There is absolutely no way on my page would I post a video on my page for you, about you, on my page, right? My page is content, and that is it. If I've got something to say, I'll come on the live and I will say it. But I don't need to post it so it's there forever. I don't need to do that. My page is clean. That's how I like it. There's plenty of FYP. There's plenty of clipping pages. Let them do what they do. And the thing is, if it was you clipping me, I'd probably come after you for the intellectual property, because I don't need to trademark my name, but I'd come after you for intellectual property if you were using it, specifically you, or anyone that is on your side. If it's all like people that are against you, they can have it, they can fill their boots, but anyone else will just intellectually do an intellectual property claim. Because let's face it, they just post it and they do not give context to it. They do not make it their own. They just clip and post. So for anyone over that side who would do that, if I see it or it gets sent me, I will do an intellectual property. I didn't need to spend my community's hard money on getting a trade from a trademark on my name, because that's free. and I'll use it if I need to. Thank you, Karen.
Awareness and then ignore what is happening on the sat.
That's Q4. I'm not making the money that I was, and now I need to use this thing that I say that I am a voice for victims, and I'm gonna just drop myself back in the drama. That's Q4. I need to get back into making it more drama content rather than just sticking to the true crime. Because, wow, if we just stick to the true crime, it's probably a little bit boring, isn't it? Thank you, Miss Ma. And if I ever fucking go missing, or if I am ever murdered, do not cover me. Do not touch my story. Do not do a fucking thing. So I'll come back and I'll haunt you. Just saying. I don't need you as a voice.
You don't have to like me. Thank you, Karen. You don't have to respect me. You don't have to think I'm a nice person. You don't have to believe anything about me to know that this is wrong. To know that
this is all wrong, but there's receipts to show everything that's being said. Okay, fair enough.
This is wrong, what is happening. That this shouldn't be happening. That the big creators on this app with big platforms should not be ignoring it, should not be sat with this person, and should not be exposing their communities to this person while they are doing this.
I'll just bring you down a little bit here, missus. Now, I have a big-ish community, if this is what you're going to call it, right? We have a good, I'm going to say it's a good size community, right? It's a good size platform, but in the realms of big, like, we're not there yet, babe. Like, we're way away from that. Like, when we're in the millions, like our Julie, who's smashing it out there and doing amazing, then we can say we've got a big fucking platform. But right now, we're still little tiddlers in the pond. It's an okay sized platform, and yeah, it's a bit larger than most. But we are not huge, right? We're nowhere near. We're nowhere near huge. We are so far from it. And I mean, we'd have to be, pushing past 1 million, right? Not just get to 1 million. You've got to be talking, over 1 million, maybe 1.5. And then we could brag about it a bit, I suppose. But right now, we're just little guppies in a big pond with a reasonable sized platform that we can do some good with. That we will do some good with. Well, you won't, because you just use it to further your own vendettas, and to make out that you're doing good when you actually start these things. And I've never known anybody that's got involved with a family or many families and has managed to piss them all off and have them all be accused of being involved. Now, that whole documentary thing that you got booted out of was quite amusing to me, actually, because I don't know how you could get thrown out of a documentary, but you did. It's quite funny. But that bit that he gave you is the reason. That's just part of the reason. If you listen to what he actually said, that was just an example of what you'd been doing. Because let's face it, once they started to look at you and what you were doing, and then seeing the things like, I'm going to jab someone in the head, when you're talking about knife crime, that wouldn't have gone well either. But the one that they pulled out of that was just that one. That was the example out of all of them. And you bet people would have been there ready, screen recording, and then sending that to the Daily Mail. And you know what? Actually, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I'm wondering if we should be sending that voice note to the papers to say that this is a person who is advocating for victims, that is a true crime enthusiast, content creator, whatever you want to call yourself, that supposedly helps people, I'm pretty sure the media would love to know that you're quite happy to set up a vulnerable person and set them up to be a pedo. In fact, I might do that because I do have some contacts out there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, setting fire to the hotel. Yeah, exactly, Scottish Paula. Exactly. I think that's a bloody brilliant idea. It is. Because don't we already get enough shit for being true crime content creators anyway? And the reason we get a lot of shit is because of people like you and what you do and how you impact people and how you affect people and how you insert yourself with people. I mean, I can guarantee that none of the ITV will touch you again, because I believe that was ITV that rejected you. And, you know, if you had just taken the call sooner when he called you, perhaps maybe you might have been able to iron it out and tidy your page up a bit and make a turnaround, and maybe you've still been featured. But do you know what? They picked that beautiful Charlie Bourne. I bloody love her, I do. She is bloody gorgeous, and she was perfect for that. She did it so well. And it's not easy to do a documentary. Not at all. Been there, done that. I love bloody Charlie Bourne, I do. I think she's bloody brilliant, and she's smashing it out here. And the thing is as well, like, people are afraid to come away from that. And this is the cult, right? You've got a leader, and she isolates the people that she has so that they believe everything that she says, and they don't verify it or check it. They just take her word for it. And then she isolates them, and then she tears them up in her cult. And if you've watched Twin Flames, if you've watched Twin Flames, that's exactly what they do in there. So they'll higher up in their cult, and they'll get those people up there to be working on the people further down, a bit like a pyramid scheme type thing. And then those people will be the ones that are the most loyal. Then they'll work and coach those ones. And that's the tiers that are going on over there. And then she makes it so it's fearful for them to leave, because then she's extracted personal, private stuff, which is why I never told her fucking nothing. I mean, if I might have vented one day, that'd be something I'd be happy to vent and own. But like anything that pertains that's really personal, I fucking knew. She didn't get nothing out of me that would be worth a thing, because I knew she could not be bloody well trusted. So she gets that from her victims in her cult, and they're frightened to leave because they're frightened to leave the people that they built trust with, and that what will happen to them if they leave. And that's the same in any cult, because they then fear the outside for what might happen. She is the definition of an actual cult. And I get that your friends and stuff want to defend you. Like, you know, like when you went for Adele, I saw that as wrong. And so I commented on it and I defended her, because there you were throwing, you know, hateful comments about a disabled person. Hateful, nasty comments. And I didn't even need to know Adele. If that had been someone else and you was doing the same, I'd have said something on it, because that's just vile, especially when you are not so perfect yourself. And I'm not even going to comment on your looks, because it's not worth it, right? But what I will say is that you do it to everybody else, and really you probably shouldn't, okay? But you do it anyway. And then if someone does it back to you, and I've seen them, you don't like it. It's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible when people call you names. I mean, I accept my potato head, right? That's my role. I love my potato head. Love it. This potato head has got me some good circle of people around me that I've had for a while or years, right? Because I keep my circle small, very small, and that's all I need. Whilst you're out there literally throwing yourself at anything that has a pencil with 2 rubbers either side of it, anything that might look that at you. I mean, I remember Aladdin, because, let's not forget, I wish I'd have got it up. Let's not forget, okay, there was this whole thing about the slur, okay, that she used on our friend Becca, right, saying she didn't know it was someone with a degree would know what it meant. But anyway, so let's just say, all right, okay, we forgive you. You didn't know what that meant. How do you explain to your community that you're on a battle, and I have this somewhere, and I will bloody find it. It's in one of my folders because I keep receipts too. How do you explain to your community that you can clearly, this is like Nick Goldie, isn't it? You can clearly see that there is a learning deficit there, that there is something that they have that is a disability. We just don't know what it is because we don't know them, but we can see it, right? We can see that there's something there. When you're actively mocking him, but he's taking you seriously, even though you're taking the mickey out of him, how do you explain that? Because you knew exactly what you were doing when you were talking to him and you were doing that. And then you went on and spoke about people that have dwarfism. And you said that they make great leaning posts out of your mouth. Now, you can't tell me that you didn't know what that meant and how and why you said it. Because you said it and you were being disrespectful to someone that had obviously some learning deficit there. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, that angered me too. But there is proof of that and I have it. And if you need me to get it, I will find it. I think it's on my Mac, but I'll get it and you can listen to it. I'll see if I can send it to my phone and play it on my iPad. It's probably on my iPad amongst my 5,000 million photos and stuff. But she did. And this is someone who's then saying, oh, well, I didn't know. I'd never disrespect people that have got disabilities. Bollocks. I've got the proof. It's like when you battled in a victim's name. And I'm not afraid to say that we made them aware. And I know other people made them aware as well. Because that was wrong. Because what you were doing was that you would bring everybody in for the true crime content and you didn't want to end your live and restart it because you know that most people wouldn't probably want to do the battle. But whilst you've got your audience of true crime, you can't change your bloody title. And that was the title. And you went on to battle in that victim's name because you'd used that case to get everyone in your room. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to do this. This is how we wind down. No, you should have ended your live and restarted it and made it clear that when you came back, you were battling. But you know that the numbers wouldn't have been there. She said she would push someone out of their wheelchair. Yes, I've heard that one. Possibly. I'm not sure. There's so many things that she's done. Yeah, she always shames and mocks people. And the thing is, like, she thinks I'm bothered. Like, saying stuff about me and what was it, Elle? I think her name's Elle. He then posted that video. Like, fucking grow up. I mean, I am probably double your age, love, but it really didn't affect me. In fact, I laughed. So what? But yes, that is what she said about people that have dwarfism. They make a great leaning post. And I will dig that fucker out and I will play it if it is required and I will give it to one. In fact, what I will do is I'll find it and then I will give it to one of the one of the, Sniffany Williams or whoever wants it, they can have it. It was when she was battling some guy and you could tell that there was a deficit there, bless him, and like irony kind of thing, like I might banter with Mrs. P, right? And I would get it, she would get it that we were pissing around, right? Because we get it. This lad wasn't getting it, and he was like believing stuff, and she was just saying stuff because she knew she was just being an idiot, but he was kind of believing it. And then she went on to make that comment, and I just can't. Oh, Sniffany Williams, yeah, they've got some stuff, and I know that I can get it to them. So that is that remind me to dig that out, and I will get that so that can go out, because I actually haven't seen that one. And the mere fact that people, like, she's trying to make out she doesn't say things about disabled people, it's proven that she does. And, you know, I don't make these statements without the receipts to back them up. So I'll get that. But, because I wasn't planning on even mentioning that tonight, but here we are. I made it that far, and I commented on it, so I'll have to dig out the receipt. But she's not perfect at all. And there she is mocking people for how they are, how they look, how they speak, not knowing if they have any kind of learning difficulty with their English or their maths, or they're just vulnerable, or she doesn't give a shit. Like the comment she's made on me, she doesn't know anything about me. She doesn't know about my health. And the sad thing is, a lot of people on the app that watch lives like this, they're usually people that either need to come home from work and decompress, right? And they just want to get in the live and have fun with a few people they've met. Or I would say a high proportion probably are people that are home, like housebound, because they can't get out because they have a disability of some sort. And therefore they utilise the communities to make their friends, and they go in all different lives and stuff. And you know, that is weaponised against them. If you're here to do content and you truly care about what you're doing, you shouldn't care about getting paid. Because at one point, in one video, she said, oh, you know, I don't make much money on my videos. Everyone thinks that you do in these videos, but nobody really understands. It's not as great as people think it is in the Creator Fund. And I will agree on that to an extent. It's not always amazing. But if you say made 10 quid on a video that took you 5 minutes to do, that's a good earner, right? If you make, and it has happened, over £1,000 on a video that took you less than 5 minutes to make, that is good. You won't earn what people think you will earn on it by the time they've disqualified whatever. But if you make that kind of money on one video in 1 month, that's quite good. But then you turn that around and you were like talking about, oh, my videos aren't getting the views anymore. And I rely on that to make money. So which is it, Miss Comet? Are you making money on your videos? And therefore you don't need the gifts, as you said. Or are you not making the money on your videos, but need the gifts? And therefore, because actually a lot of people you've pissed off were probably big gifters and they've now left you. You need the videos to rack your views up. You can't have it both ways. You're either earning or you're not. Two contradictory statements in one. Yeah, it all adds up. And it's like she was moaning about earning £30 a night. If I earned £30 a night, I would be well over the moon with that. I would be so happy. That is a good bloody take home for being on your phone and talking about cases. Obviously, you know, yours is mostly read from Google, but that's a good take home. And yet it's not enough, so you're going to manipulate your community. Oh, I need to get a job. Therefore, that means I can't be on the app that much anymore. Fuck off. Fucking hell. It's nothing to her, but it's everything. I'll be honest with you, Beth, like, I don't need to go to a crime scene, right? One, because I don't want to, I'm not a journalist. I think in the future, I plan to do something a bit more like that, but post events, because I wouldn't want to be, like, it's like when someone is missing, unless I was actually participating in the search, to which I wouldn't even be streaming in case I came across something. I wouldn't want to, like, I could, it's like these crimes that happen, murders in homes. You could go to any of them and I could stand outside the house and report from there, but I would be in the way of the police. That to me is, I can do that from here if I'm talking about specific crime, but I do try and shape it up a little bit, and I do try, like, I'll give some content and then I'll talk on it. Like we've been doing with Gypsy Rose Blanchardot. We have been covering her. We've been posting videos, and I have been giving content that is from my own brain. It's not from any article. It's commenting on what I know about that case off the top of my head. Sometimes I might have something in front of me and I might read it, but it's not all the time. And if we're watching a trial, I will pause it and I will give commentary. There's no notes about that because you never know what's going to happen. But it's really wrong to be turning up to a crime scene where, there's police there and it's an active scene. And I try to comment very little on them. I give the basic information because I don't want to affect the case either by speculating. So I will literally give what's been permitted by the media to be out there when it comes to active cases, like the 15-year-old boy that's been stabbed and he has died. They have asked for no speculation. So no speculation from here. And I will not have people commenting any of the perpetrators' names because they're underage or anything like that. I'm not interested in that. I just want people to know what's going on. That's it. So the plan is, at some point in time, that, there will be some times where I will go to scenes. And I may even travel to do it, like as in abroad. But these would be ones that have been in the past. Like when I did Soham, I actually went to Soham. I took everybody on that walk that the girls took. I took them to where the caretaker's house was. I took them to where the clothes were burnt. I took them, I went to the cemetery where they laid all the flowers, but then I went personally to the cemetery where they are buried, to which I did not post anything because that's not something I think we should be doing, posting. It's like when that guy was all over Nicola Bulley's grave, right? It's not right. But I went there, paid my respects, and then I left because that's not really something I need to put on social media. I could have probably, and I could have probably done quite well out of that. But I haven't even actually posted the live that I did doing the walk. I did it live and I've never posted that content yet. Will I post it at some point? Yes. But as for going over there and putting the gravestones on, no. Absolutely not. That's not something that I would do, but that is absolutely something that she would do. But then she'll take on a case and accuse family members, and that's not okay. Look at poor Debbie. I mean, I'm not being funny, right? When the father of Jay Slater comes out and says, I've never spoken to Hayley Comet, you don't double down and call him out and say he's not being honest. The guy's got no reason to lie. He's admitted he spoke to what's-his-face over on YouTube, which I found very manipulative of him. Wax, I found that very manipulative, I'll be honest, because he's manipulating someone who's desperate for answers. He said that he spoke to him, but he's never spoken to her, and yet she'll still say that they spoke. Why? Why say that? And it's not fucking true. Yeah, show the proof. You can actually, if you wanted to, you could redact the actual message between you and him, if it existed, but just show your face and his face in a conversation together. You can redact the contents. You don't have to show that. There's plenty of ways you can show your receipts, but You use the old thing, oh, I'm not going to do that, because I don't ever dox anyone and I don't ever put anything out on anyone unless they piss me off, and then I'll put it all out there. So you'll put whatever you want out there when it suits you, but you won't actually do it when it's actually needed, when you're throwing these accusations or you're throwing these things around as gospel truth. Because, you know, and if someone said to me, who would you believe? Would you believe Warren or would you believe you? And I certainly wouldn't believe you. Because you are a pathological liar. You are a bit like our friend Gypsy Rose. She's a pathological liar too. She is a narcissist too. You're a narcissist. You're a bully. And you just don't like it when people stand up to you. Because you think that you can open your mouth and that you can rant on and that you'll scare people. I am not scared of you. And you might be like, oh, I can take anyone on. A bit of wind and you'll be blown over. Fuck's sake. You'd be like my dog, Winston. You know, he loses a bit of balance on his feet and he rolls over. He's very dramatic, you know. I bloody love that dog. But that would be you. If someone came for you because you'd egged them on into a fight, that would be you. You'd just blow over. And to be fair, at this point in my life, I think probably I could run a lot further and a lot faster than you. And I'm not even well. Oh, are they all coming in, let them?
As long as they're not too disrespectful, that's fine. Maybe they'll learn a few things, but please be respectful to each other, guys. That's all I ask.
I don't see, this is the thing. I don't know why she doesn't come in and fucking mans up herself, but she can't do that. And if she has a direct problem with me, my email is, oh look, live restricted, reasons for harassment and bullying. Okay. Visibility restricted for 10 minutes. We'll take that. It's fine. Don't let me come out. I honestly don't care. No, she can't fight her own battles, whereas I can. I've got a mouth, I use it. And I severely hope, you know, I've been poking this bear for days because I know she likes to rant about me. And maybe it'll take the heat off Ginger Gemini. Because poor Ginger has had it non-stop. Hey, Observer. Well, she ain't quite made it to 300k yet, Charlene, because she lost a bunch of people, didn't she? Restart and come back. Okay, I'll restart and come back. 2 secs.
Quite clearly not willing to actually listen to facts. Just
no. That's the thing. Oh yeah, she's definitely paid for them. 100%. Because in some respects where you get a large amount in one go, she needs to be careful because they'll take you account for that. Because it's not natural following. Yeah, the Observer's been in. She came in. There she is. I think the Observer is a she. She looks like a she. I just feel so bad that this woman is relentless in what she's trying to do, and to accuse someone or have someone accused of being a peddler. Do you know what I mean? That's not okay.
I also feel sorry for there is going to be people that are still in that community that are scared to leave at this point in time.
Yeah.
And I feel so sorry for those people too. And I know there will be lots in there that are there just enabling and sadly still delusional at this point in time, but there are going to be people there who want to be able to leave, who maybe don't want to leave because they are scared of the reaction or just because it's their community and they want to stay for the community. And I know historically how that feels because I've been there, and you do make friends on the app. You do find people that you gel with in a community, in lives, and it's so difficult to walk away from that. So difficult for many, many reasons.
And they probably know from experience what's happened to the others that have left, of what's happened to them. And stuff about them that's been exposed that they thought was safe. And it is hard, especially when a lot are vulnerable, because they rely on each other's company so much. It's like sometimes, like there might be a time where I get a really bad headache and I've not been able to come on. People wonder where I am. And they message me and say, oh, are you coming on? Where are you? Whatever. Because there are people that just want the community. And then, of course, they're probably told that no one will accept you anywhere else because, we've got a load of stuff on you, beefing about them. And so they feel beholden.
And also, she spends a lot of time going, actually, if you're seen going here, there, or somewhere else, you will be blocked. So she actually cuts them off from other communities as well.
Thank you, Stacey.
And everybody should be free to be their own person and go wherever they want to on this app. It's a massive app.
Yeah, and the thing is, like with the Observer, like you served a purpose for her, and then for whatever reason, she's turned everyone against you, and that's not personal to you. That's just what she does, and and this is why we don't hold it against anybody, because when they come out, they need somewhere to be, and they need somewhere where they can just be themselves and feel safe. And they don't have that. And so we expect people when they like to leave. And therefore we kind of accept that. So like, I know that people that might pop in here that perhaps used to go in there, I know that there will have been messages, but am I bothered about that? No, because it's something that happened then. Hey, Ginger, it happened then, back then. And they were in a different place, different mentality. And what they don't realise is they're being controlled massively. And you don't know that until you're out. And then you look back and you think, how did I not see it? It's real clever stuff. But what she is doing by threatening to set that up is frightening. So the earlier stuff, like I said, that's the small bit, right? That's playground stuff where she's I'll just do this and orchestrate this behind the scenes. And then it makes me wonder what other things that she is orchestrating behind the scenes that nobody knows about until we know about them. But that one about the pedo stuff is just wow to me. That's beyond... It's beyond comfortable. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sure it leaves a bad taste in many people's mouths. And that is dangerous behaviour. It's freaking scary. Right, let me finish playing that, and then if anyone wants to come up, they can. Let me just finish the rest. Were you going to say something?
Nuggly with your few followers. I'd love to know why you think the police are on their way to AD's house, because if they are, then that's wasting police time, because she's done nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. So jog on, would you, or just stay here and be quiet, because that is ridiculous.
Well, did you go, oh, there's this woman on the internet somewhere in the middle of nowhere, because you don't know obviously where I am. Because obviously if you do a report online, it's not instant, right? Because I've done this myself. I've put the reports in. And it takes days for them to even look at it. But if they come round, I'll give them a coffee. I've got some coffee.
I was going to say, and show them all the receipts that you've got, because it would backfire on someone massively.
Yeah, absolutely. As is, I've been told I can have an opinion on somebody's parenting if I think it sucks. There's nothing illegal against that. I can have an opinion when I think someone acting and behaving dangerously to other people. I will have an opinion on that. And I can show the receipts for it. And in fact, actually, we'll stream it live. I'll invite him in for a coffee. We'll put the phone there. I've got a big stand, and we'll just sort of stream it. Because I'm not being funny. That one has done way worse.
Yeah, that would backfire massively.
Gee, I'm still waiting for the previous police report. Do you know what I mean? I'm still waiting from, 2023? Was it 2023? Was it 2024. I'm still waiting for that visit. I was waiting with open arms. I was going to give him a hug and everything. Yeah, and then I'd only have to show them the chat as well. And then all Hayley's victims that are in here, I'd just show them that as well. Anyway, let me just continue playing the video, and obviously I'm allowed to do that. I can play the video because I'm giving context. I'm making it my own. So that's called, it's called fair use, copyright and fair usage. Oh yeah, I would. I'd have a chat with them. I'll probably recognise them from, when I work with them. Yeah, teaching around. Yeah, we've got all that. We've got all the receipts. We just pull out all the receipts. It's fine.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then, everyone wants to keep us quiet because of what happens if you do speak up, or if you do take the right side of things. And you've seen what happens by this group of people that are always the innocent ones.
You mean like you?
You'll see what happens, and you'll see what happens today, right? You'll see what happens as a response to me having a voice. But at the same time, I waited for you to have a voice. I waited for you to do the right thing. I waited to not have to do this, because I thought at some point, this woman who's been through just what I've been through, who is the woman I thought, a woman I thought she used to be, she will say something ultimately, because you'll put your platform aside and you'll start thinking from your mother hat and your grandmother hat and your woman hat. But you didn't. You didn't. You cried for yourself and you ignored the cries of a million women before you. I just don't get it.
Sorry, I'm just picturing the police coming with their blues and twos
People's
on.
opinions.
Woo, woo. Woo, woo. Yeah, that's what it is. And it's doubling down. Okay, it's doubling down and then wanting to go back to, well, I need drama, I need money, so I'm just going to be doing this and inserting herself and causing drama. Do you know what I mean? Egotistical, narcissistic, and I'm allowed to have that opinion because it's all alleged, right? In my opinion. Waste of resource. They won't. Do you know, can you imagine? Well, they probably won't know where to go because I've moved house and some of my stuff I've still got details to change. I've just realised. There's some things I still have not yet done. But nobody knows on this app where I live. A couple of people before knew my old address, but I know that they wouldn't give that out anyway. But when I moved from that property to my new property, I ain't given anyone that address. There is one person, and that's it. And I know that person very, very well. And I know that that person will never give out that address. So, yeah, it's my opinion. And the police say, you know, if I'm sending people in, which I've never done, to harass and bully and say nasty things and put hate, you know, like hateful speech and stuff, that's different. She'd file the report, and then they would look at it and decide whether or not, because actually I think they're trying to even stop all this stuff online with even hate speech and having to deal with it. So it takes a minute, doesn't it? The only reason the police would come here on blues and twos is if somehow somebody had been watching me, sent my address, and that she told them I was self-deleting or something. My name's not Marcus Ems, and nobody has that ability to do that with my address. So, you're the chickens, yeah, Eileen, yeah. I know. They've got bigger fish to fry. Do you know what I mean? I'm not their problem, and at the end of the day, they probably come and have a word. Yeah, I saw about that in Grey. Hey, Ames. You've tagged me. Let me have a look. If anyone wants to come up, feel free.
Tagged me?
Or if anyone wants to have a say.
Listen.
Come and have a say. That means I've got to let you in.
Thank you. Can you get the videos?
Yeah, 2 seconds. I'm just checking. I've got some people in here. I don't know if they want to come in or if they've accidentally requested.
What's their names?
I've got Just Me.
Just Me is always on my platform.
Right, Anne.
Hi, Wilma.
Adele.
Hi, Wilma. Hi, everyone.
Do you want me to change the layout, or you happy?
I think you needed this after dark. Like, remember I was talking the other day about stuff that she had accused you of, and you didn't even know that you'd apparently done it.
Yeah. That was the first time I was like, oh, okay, good to know I did that.
But I spoke to someone about that, and they were like, because she was saying that you mocked a scar on her that apparently she got through DV, and like one of her ex-followers like, no, she didn't. That's from when her brother pushed her when she was a child.
The thing is, it's under here, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. And even when she lifted up, I still couldn't, because like obviously when someone's talking, like you're not looking under their chin.
No.
If you are, you're weird. I'm not going to lie, that would be a weird thing to do. But like, and where's the receipt?
Yeah, she just ranted. So it was 2 videos saying, you think it's funny to mock this?
There's a video of her saying it as well.
Kobe and Tegan in front of the car. Me, Tori and Taylor in the back.
This is disgusting what she says. Absolutely wild. She laughs about what her kid says in this.
Okay.
Do you think she forgets her lies?
Is it a trigger warning?
She forgets her lies.
Yeah, I think she does now.
What I heard before,
and Kobe had sat at a different side of the table than Tori had sat because she had sat with her cousins playing. And all of a sudden, music stops, and Kobe says to Tori, "What did you have to do tonight, Tori?" And Tori goes, "I ate your mum's arse." I was like, "Oh my god!"
She was 6.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
Huh?
That was
6-year-old.
Yeah. I think if my child said that, I would go the old-fashioned way with the soap in the mouth. At least you're going to
I
win.
wouldn't be putting it on social media and laughing because that's not funny.
No.
Corey was 6 then, so she was, Charlene. She's sure her mum forgot her own age. One day she was 5, one day she was 6.5, and then the next minute she was 7. So the next
Yeah, she
one,
couldn't.
Some of the things that she says in front of her children is out of order. I was talking to my partner and I had mentioned about the fact that I would never dream about talking about any of this stuff in front of his oldest nephew, who's 13, who actually follows stuff, who watches stuff online, but I would never dream about saying any of that because I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't. That's just, you just don't. You just do not at all. And they're young kids.
yeah.
And that would be like me saying it in front of his 9-year-old niece. I would never dream about doing something like that because it's not for a kid's ears at all. And with what you were saying about the parenting thing, like somebody obviously was going, "Oh, you're attacking," and it wasn't nothing about attacking at all.
No.
She needs to do better as a parent.
She said she wishes she was on rugs in front of her 6-year-old and 12-year-old, and then ranted about Michelle taking the mick out of her doing it. Now, she knew that Canadian Angie took the mick out of her being on rugs. She knew that this was going to be a skit. She knew it was an adult skit. Why was your 12-year-old watching it? And then she proceeded to say in front of the 12-year-old, "Oh, she bent me over and raw dogged me up the butt." Do you know what I mean? Without lube. And done the motions off it and all. It's all on fresh clips. She's obsessed with her peach.
She is obsessed
And
with
she's
that.
obsessed with you as well, I think. She's
yeah.
obsessed by Ginger Gemini.
Yeah, she's definitely obsessed.
It's worrying.
She says I rant about her till 3 a.m. I always come off before Canadian does. Well, not lately, but yeah. But the next one shows her to be lying, so it does. It's a clip of her saying, if my child had a lighter, she wouldn't know what to do with it. And then you hear what the child says.
Let me finish playing this one.
Kobe was like, "Pardon?" I was like, "No, don't ask her again." I said, where have you even got that from? She was like, "Tegan." I was like, "Oh my God." Ellie was like, "She's a fucking legend. Where did she get it from?" But the music just stopped. Tegan was listening to the song in front of the back of the car and he just went, "What did you have for dinner tonight, Tori?" She went, "Your mum's ass." And I was like, "Oh my God." God.
See, the thing is as well, like when I'm on here, I never mention names of my children or my grandbaby. Mm-hmm. We nickname her Squishy. That's how I refer to her. I do not name her on this platform. I would never. And yet, she's putting their names out there.
Not that, right? She even said about Alex and he needs his devices checked. But then in the next video, she said that she's let her little one talk to him. And
Yeah,
she was
he was in the box with the little one was in the box with Corey and Alex. When this is at around about the time they were talking about effing 3-year-olds.
Yeah, and she let her kid in the box with him.
She didn't even know she was in the box with him. She came downstairs and realised. And not that I'm saying Alex and Corey would cause her any harm, because they wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I know the stuff they come out with is absolutely disgusting and wrong, but I'm not saying that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but she talks about everyone else being irresponsible and everyone needs to do more. And do you know what I mean? While you're letting your child sit in the box with him.
But her TikTok shouldn't be open for a child to be able to go on there and her not, be out of the room like. Shouldn't have.
Yeah.
100%. I put my stuff on like over 18. Like my content in general is for over 18. I even thought over on the YT. I would never, if I knew a kid was in my live or was in earshot of anything we were talking about, I just wouldn't. And the fact that she's blaming like everybody else but herself for them hearing that. I mean, we heard it when it was when she had the beef with London, and she was saying specific things, and obviously one of them had said about London bridges. And
she hated EQ in London. The child turned around and said she hated EQ in London. Now, how does the child know that her mum has beef with EQ in London?
You shouldn't know.
No.
She shouldn't know at all.
The next clip is bad as well. So, to be honest with you, every clip she puts out there is bad. Like, I don't think there's a clip that's not bad that she's put out there.
Can I just... I just need to say this before I play that clip. Hayley, please get rid of those boxes that are behind you, that are in all of your videos that you've been clipped on. It's not a good look. You need to tidy up, love, and you need to get rid of it. Because my OCD, in all the clips that I keep seeing as they're appearing on the FYP, and I think that fucking lazy bitch hasn't even cleared them away or done what she needs. I couldn't have it.
The child's playground, it's an outdoor play area that's been sitting there for that whole time.
Not going to be much outdoor playing if it's in a box.
Before she comes to my disability again, she needs to go and wash her fucking hair.
Yes. But what I just have to say that, right, because, you know, aesthetics are everything. I mean, obviously tonight my aesthetics aren't as good now. I've got my studio and everything when I'm out there, but I can't be out there tonight because we've got the grandbaby and that. But she is sleeping and she's with Mrs. AD downstairs. But, like, aesthetics are everything. And when the boxes are there day after day after day after day, it says a lot about you than it does me. Apart from my OCD can't cope with it.
Well, I'm sure your OCD goes insane. Mine, my walls are covered in art, so they are.
Yeah, no, it's like... Because the house we're in is newly built, and so like everything is white at the moment, and I'm like not putting nothing on the walls. I love it, like just keeps it's bright, it's white. I know obviously at some point I'll change colours and bits of it, but like no, not having it. No, not getting that. No, not doing that. No,
I'm in temporary accommodation, so I'm just covering all the dirty walls with the pictures.
Yeah.
It's driving me insane. So it is. I'm waiting on my house coming up, so yeah, I'm not putting money into a temporary house. There's no way. So we shall cover the walls with the art.
Yeah. Whereas like when we were selling the other house, do you know what I mean? Like there was things I thought, well, we could redecorate it, but there's no point because they're going to come in and redecorate it. If they want the house, they'll want the house. Or there was things I did do, like there was obvious things that needed doing, but like where it was just like a colour choice, I'm like, and actually it worked because it sold and obviously we moved in here, but everything is white. So, and it's actually really different. Like you'd think I'd hate it, but it's actually made the rooms a lot brighter.
Yeah.
And where I've had colours on the walls, actually, I'm like, I actually quite like this white, but I know in a bit that will do my head in because everything, the doors, the walls, the frames, everything, windowsills, sinks, bath, white. It's all just quaint.
Oh God, I couldn't do that. Can you please ask the idea if I'm okay to post videos of her on YouTube? Are you okay with that? Observer wants to post this live on YouTube, if that's okay.
If everyone in the box is okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
At home.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm happy with that, Observer. Observer, you're big love to the Observer. She's such a kind person, so she is. And she's had a bit of crap lately, but all of us have. None of us deserve it. I think we should start a support group for victims of Hayley comments.
Surviving. Mrs. P, are you good with that?
I'm good.
There's going to be loads.
Do you want to see my inbox? This is what happened. Like, see, after the crap that happened with me, like, I was like, after me and her argued, I let it go. So I did, and I was happily sitting in my own live. So I was, because at the time I was having a few drinks at the weekend, and people were coming in and telling me everything. Like, she was slobbering about me, and then I started arguing back, and a lot of people were in my inbox, and I was like, this isn't about me anymore. To me, it's about all these people coming forward, and you don't understand how many are too scared to even speak.
Yeah, but we get it. Like,
it's a big community, and it's a big like a lot of them. Like, I've had a lot of apologies, and I really appreciate that, and I will always forgive people. So I will. They do come down hard, though. They really do. And I think even the ones that have woke up from it realised that as well. So that's a good, at least that's all everyone ever wanted of anyone, just to wake up and just be like, right, I did wrong here, let's do better.
Yeah, and the thing is, we can see how it's happened because there is that, oh, come in my community and then tell me, I'm your friend, you can tell me everything you tell me is safe, and you know, with the mods and whatnot, and then they start divulging bits about themselves, and then that gets held against them, and then when if they're about to leave because they think, oh well, okay, they're going to talk about me and my personal life, it's like we'll cut you out of the community altogether. You'll have no one. And that's the biggest fear for a lot of people, that they're going to lose their friends, right? Because most people in the chat want to chat with each other, and when I'm interacting properly and going through comments, like if I'm talking about a case or whatever, I'll try and go back into the comments and sort of communicate. But for most of the time, they're talking with each other, and they rely on that because that's company for so many people.
Oh yeah, 100%. I really appreciate my community. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be on the platform. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think obviously I say every time, like, everyone comes into my life and I'm like, I don't do true crime. So I feel I was sitting there lost. I was like, I don't know what to do for all you, because I really don't do true crime. I would always direct them over here or to Becca.
Yeah, bloody love Becca Smith.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, we went to CrimeCon together, and I know that really irked her. And the reason that she left is not the reason that she said. She had a different reason that she needed to leave that day, and she was with me a good part of that day, and we had a bloody good time.
Oh,
we enjoyed it. We learned quite a bit together. In fact, there was a case that we were going to do, and then obviously her life went, as it went, and she came off for a bit. But we had a good time, and then I think it was probably the last 2 hours of the day, maybe.
yeah.
And it was framed as something completely different, and that's not what it was about.
Yeah.
She wasn't bored at all. She was really, we learned a lot, and I got to meet her in person. It was good.
Hayley likes to pick
Hayley
girls.
went there. Did she go on her own?
Yes. So I think she even tried to spin it that we were bullying her.
She did, yeah.
And I'm like, we didn't even fucking speak to her.
Yeah.
We saw her walk past, and that was it. Like, literally, she walked past us, and I think we then walked past her when we were going somewhere. She was having the thing with Peter Falding. She was having the book signed, because out of that, she then came out and said that Peter Falding is giving her all this information about the thing, that she can't talk about it because the inquest hasn't happened yet. Peter Falding did not, and I can tell you exactly why, because I was in Peter Fording's talk with Becca Smith. She was not in that room. Okay, we looked for her, and it was a small room, so we would have seen her. She wasn't in there, and he started off that session by saying, "I'm going to make this clear. I am not talking on the Nicola Bulley case. The inquest is thingy, and I'm not talking about it. So don't ask me any questions because I'm not talking about it." And then he continued to then talk about other things that he'd been involved in the past. And that's how I know. And I also know Peter Falding would not just gone up to some random TikToker and gone, "Oh, by the way, I've got this bit of info for you. Yeah, keep that under your wing." And they were also made aware about that too. Just because actually that could have got him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like,
I don't understand how she falls out with everyone. Like, we've been friends for years, and me and Mrs. B have been friends for years. We've never fallen out. Ever. Not have to add a crossword.
No.
I just don't understand it.
Do you know what I fell out with Eddie once? Once only. We never spoke about it, about each other, on each other's lives. We just went ahead and done our own things. It was never mentioned. It was never brought up. When I was questioned about it, I said, "I'm not willing to discuss that. That's a private matter." And that was the end of the conversation. That was it. Because you don't stab somebody in the back. You don't reveal anything about said person. And so it meant that when AD and I did start talking again, and we buried the hatchet and we went past it, it was like there was none of that bitterness of you said this and you said this, and but then you said this but you said that. It was nothing. It was just a case of the fact that we drew a line under it. Arguments happen. It's part of life. I can be really quite hot-headed sometimes. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm not. I can be really quite. I could take things the wrong way. Blame my autism.
But we also did have a third in the wheel that I think made things worse.
Yes.
Actually, which we didn't realise, neither of us, until we were thrown back together, and we learned actually, that had that not have happened, to be fair, that probably we wouldn't have even probably have fallen out. Do you know what I mean? Because there'd just be things like minor things that people don't. Oh God, here they come. That they think about.
Handled like adults, though.
Mm.
You know, handled like adults. You don't need to run people down and, you know, put lives up, and, you know, you don't realise what damage people do, you know.
Not exactly. And like but there's a lot of things that is obviously coming out, and then more so. I saw a video today where I mentioned it in the comment section. Actually, it came up just after the video that you sent that I'd watched, and it was somebody else that had posted it. And this woman was clearly from Scotland, and she had said to a comment, so you think it's okay for you to tell me to put haggis in certain places?
Yeah.
With butter and blah blah blah. And she immediately jumped on and went, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never say that about anything. I don't talk about haggis. I don't blah 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 blah. And obviously the creator was then muted from the live by one of her moderators. And then the video followed with Hayley saying exactly that. And what was getting said was absolutely vile. It was absolutely disgusting what was coming out of her mouth, as well as the ones that were in the boxes as well. I don't know all the ones that were, I've never seen any of the ones that were in the boxes before. And she was laughing and joking about it and stuff. And it was so disrespectful to somebody. And there was no pretext as to what it was about. And she thinks that people don't have receipts. But this came with receipts, and it was shared. And I have totally applauded the fact that it came with receipts, because it was just like, good. Because there's no way backing out of that. And I don't understand why people will say that these kind of things are like bullying and stuff when we're not. Because I've said it, and I said it before, and I will say it again, you know, if she decided to be better, if she decided to drop all this drama, if she decided to go back to what she once was, yeah, like everybody, it would take a while, which she would have to regain a lot of trust in the community. But as a community in general that does true crime stuff, we will be talking about the similar things. We will get the awareness out of certain things. We'll share the same petitions. We'll say the same GoFundMes, the same missing people ones and stuff. But that's bringing eyes to a case and bringing awareness to a case, etc. And that's what that's what being part of the true crime community is about. It's not about all this absolute nonsense that she's decided to do. And I think can she come back? Potentially. Will she be bit off drama talk? No, because she knows that the drama is going to cause what is generating her money and stuff. And it's just wrong. Yeah. I wish it would stop.
Yeah.
In fact, she said she doesn't get money out of it when people come back. And I'd look at her take, you can prove that you have, you know.
She said she made 25 quid.
Yeah.
And she made 183 that night. She knows we have receipts. We show receipts all the time. She just thinks everyone's stupid enough, and she's able to gaslight everyone into saying, you didn't see that, because she's so used to bullying other people into believing exactly what she says.
Yeah. It's like if you earned £5 each evening that you came on, that's £5 that you didn't have, that somebody's gifted to you, or multiple people as a collective have gifted you, and you know, £5 is not to be sniffed at when you're just on the live. Yes, you're giving a bit of content, and no, you're not doing 8 hours of research, and I've explained why it's not possible. But £5 is £5. £1 is £1 that you didn't have before coming on. And that's how I see it.
She's not doing 8 hours of research because her kids are at school for 6.
And she's on live. And she's got to get them there and back. And then she'll parent for about an hour and give them dinner. And then parenting kind of ceases and desists. And then she's live again. Let me play this other video. Yeah, exactly. Nothing should be sniffed at. And the thing is, as well, I always say this, and I said this to her back then, remember where you started. We all started with nobody, nothing, no platform. We started with a following of 0. And for however you build it, right? And that's okay. If you want to build it through Drama Talk, because I would imagine a good majority is from like the lives with Corey and everyone else. Some of it will be from the crime, and the others will be bought. And you'll be able to know when she's bought them because there will be massive influx of following, like in the thousands. That's a purchased.
Yeah. I agree.
And actually, if you see that, report it.
Because they can take the account for that.
Mm-hmm.
And her videos have slowed down. She's actually had to put in Discord for people to share and like videos and stuff, because that's what happens when you buy followers. It actually drags your account down. Doesn't help it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Buying a lot of bots, you know.
And the thing is, as well, like, I mean, she ain't the only one. Obviously, she had a bit of a mass exodus as well, so that won't have helped. But for a lot of people, I feel like they're kind of, and maybe because of what's gone on with like the Jay Slater case and stuff, I feel like that TikTok are kind of not pushing out the true crime unless it's like something that is trending. And that's why she'll only look for the trending or anything that will potentially kick off or whatever. But the things that she does won't have helped the account at all. But it's affecting, I think, quite a few true crimers, although there are some that aren't affected. So I don't know.
The thing is, right? All of us
stopped earlier that, didn't we, Ginger, that regardless of the amount of followers that she's got, the people that actually watch her is insignificant compared to. And the problem with that is someone might have stumbled, with the Jay Slater case, thousands and thousands of people stumbled across her account, followed her, and never revisit. And she might come across their FYP or whatever, and they just flick past it. No one's actually watching her. She might have that massive amount of people, but it's the amount of people that actually watch her are insignificant to that amount. I don't think she realises that. She talks about, that many people follow me, blah, 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 blah. I follow people that I forget about.
Yeah, I followed.
Come across my FYP or on my following or on my whatever, and I just think, why did I follow you? And just flick past it. And to be fair, people are too lazy to unfollow. Everyone is lazy these days, and a lot of people are too lazy to unfollow. And I think it just shows the amount of followers that she's got compared to the amount of views that she gets. That is an absolute massive telltale.
I think as well with her, a lot of the ones that go in the lives are there because it's drama.
That's what I was about to say. None of us have spoken to her for 3 days, right? We've barely posted on her. This is why she's ranting and raving, because she wants us to clap back. I did clap back today. I did post quite a few bits. But the past couple of days...
Where does it stop, though? Where does it start? I'm really worried about Ginger Gemini. She's really got, she's a fixed on her. And what do we do to stop it?
I'm not bothered about her. She doesn't bother me. She doesn't faze me in the slightest. She's an ant.
No, she's just fixed. She's found something to fixate on.
Something to blame. Because while she's blaming me, she doesn't have to answer to her own insecurities.
Yeah, exactly. It's called deflection. Narcissistic deflection.
Hey, Ginger Gemini, I think I'm going to have a word with you, because I think that you've taken over and now I can't get her to rant about me for 4 days in a row. I'm fucking jealous, man.
Yeah, you're absolutely kicked to the curb.
I know. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely kicked.
She said Ginger Gemini's going to hump my leg. And I'm like, what the?
Oh my God. Yeah, she comes to that. The actual comments bother me. The rest of it doesn't. I've made videos saying, like, call me all the names under the sun. Just stop doing that, because it's
It's gross.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
uncomfortable in it.
To be fair,
I don't
like,
understand the fascination with the genitalia. We've all got
yeah.
it.
the actual arsehole.
But we know why.
Let's face it, everything she talks about is to do with the bum hole. And I mean, the fact that it's been said that her daughter's friends are watching her.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell?
Or that's 12-year-olds, or she knows 12-year-olds are what. She never has her live on 18 plus, so she can battle big creators. None of the big creators put their lives on 18 plus.
Yeah, and then she consistently talks about her arsehole.
Yeah,
We
she
don't
knows
care
they're
about
watching.
it. Is it Glee?
Or not necessarily hers, everyone else's. You know, what's going to be like whoever was on before, he was talking about the haggis.
I've seen that Observer. She ignored it, and then she looked up to see if her community was going to notice it, and then her community starts saying, "That's a child, that's a child, that's a child." And she's like, "Oh, that's a child. I have to drop." She was just waiting to see if her community was going to say anything.
Yeah, she's vile, absolutely vile.
Donna, her daughter was on my page. I didn't realise it was her, and then I looked at it and I blocked her instantly.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the thing
And
is,
it's the sexual things about Ginger I don't like.
yeah,
That,
It's
you know,
weird.
that's what I don't like.
It is weird behaviour.
She's sexual about everybody and everything. So she just puts that in whatever she wants to slag Gemini about at the end of the day.
pictures of kids on the wall.
It's just the way that she talks about everybody and everything, because, you know, she's quite clearly got an issue and got a problem.
Can I just say, I've been waiting here very patiently for the police to come around for their coffee, and they've not arrived. I'm just sitting here waiting. I can say,
Thing, isn't it?
Can you imagine the amount of time she's gone to the police?
Can you imagine the views I'd get? I'm disappointed.
You know,
We're waiting, aren't we, guys? And they're just not coming, are they? No,
the thing is, even if she went to them and they took her seriously, they'd only have to watch content to realise there's absolutely no way.
Police knew that, though.
Officer regarding her, he did make a comment about her content and what some of it is.
Yeah.
And then when I said that she'd made these accusations, like I was saying, like obviously that's quite a dangerous thing to say. Obviously, implicating me again in with children.
Yeah.
When she was sort of saying those things, you know, again, there's stuff that they can deal with, and then there is stuff that they can't. And obviously, at the point where it becomes putting you in danger, so the reality is, out of that probably isn't going to put me in danger, but it probably would affect, I don't know, my account or whatever.
Yeah.
And he gave me some advice around, you know, what to do, where to do it. And obviously this whole thing of having a fixation with people that are in same-sex relationships, like, because then for her to come out and say everybody fancies her, that's very homophobic when you're saying somebody, because you wouldn't say that about a man, a heterosexual man. You wouldn't say, oh, well, he fancies me, because you just wouldn't. But because someone's in that same-sex relationship, they must fancy her. And that is homophobic behaviour.
Yeah, I agree.
It is,
But the police knew what? Do you know when I made a police report, right, months and months ago? I said to them, do you want to see her? You know, and then she went, no. I said, look, I'll show you her account. And she went, no, I don't need to, I already know her. So they had suggested the solicitors for me, if she kept up, to get her done through defamation of character. Yeah, she didn't do enough for me to warrant the police. It would be my solicitor.
And it's getting harder. It's getting harder because they're trying to stop all, like, I think probably because of all the shit that happens on here where people are ringing up 911, not 911, 999 for people that have allegedly, you know, like with Marcus M's, where they're ringing because it looks like she's tried to, you know, self-delete and stuff, and this malicious communications, and that is effectively what a lot of it is. But if it's not going to go anywhere,
but look at Pearl. So obviously, what she said to Adele was a hate crime. What she said to Kiki is a hate crime. So Pearl did the similar. She got arrested and sent to court for causing great offence. So it can be done. I know the police are stretched as it is. A lot of the time the police will tell you there's not a lot they can do, but you need to know your rights, and you need to know they can push it. They just, a lot of the time they don't want to.
And the thing is, I think what most of us probably would want is actually for them to go there and have a conversation with her, which obviously hasn't happened yet.
Working with advice, it's
because
called.
even like regarding her children,
Any difference to her whatsoever, because she's so narcissistic, it wouldn't make any impression on her whatsoever, because she'll
get the first stage. The first stage is words of advice. That's what they do, and then they take it on further.
I'm a victim, and that's the end of it. She will just come across as a victim, you know. And
I didn't say that, but the police officer was going through her page and stuff, and he said, "Oh yeah, it looks, yeah, you know." He was sort of a bit like, "Yeah, they're a bit risky," kind of thing. And then when it was about the children, he said, because I said obviously, with children, the parenting isn't great. And he said that's a moral, like obviously that would be down to being a moral thing. So what you might do and how you might bring your children up isn't the same for
That's absolute shit. That's absolute shit. That is...
Please say the word for everything.
Police getting away with having to do anything and any paperwork.
That's all
I
right.
agree.
Too immoral.
I agree.
Because the social services will see that in a completely different light.
Honestly, you need to know your rights with the police. So you do. They just go like, "Well, this is stupid. We're not doing this." But if it's
the other end is as well, like I think if they go and speak to her, like when the children are at school, because I suppose none of us in this room, as much as we dislike, would not want her to be arrested and all that trauma.
they wouldn't do that anymore anyway. You go in for voluntary interview, do you know what I mean? So they wouldn't do that anyway, and I think they would go during times.
It's like that would be the thing. We just.
I'd like to see her arrested.
I would.
I'd like to see her arrested. And I would like to see her fucking squirm. Because...
After what she said about Gray, I would.
Horrendous.
Oh, fair enough.
She didn't give a shit. She
I
didn't give a
wouldn't want
shit.
the kids. I wouldn't stop her and the kids. So
Yeah, it's the children, isn't it? At the end of the day.
The kids are suffering in her care. So, you know, she needs a reality check at the end of the day, in my opinion.
allegedly. Sorry.
Yeah, literally.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully. Let me just play that video that you tagged me in. The other one. I'll buckle up because I don't know what it's going to be. Could be a bit dodge, couldn't it? Hang on.
Tomorrow you could phone the social services to say, when her daughter was out of the room, she said, "Do you want a lighter for a joke in her bag?" Which I said online. I'm not ashamed of. I'll repeat it again and again. And even if I tell it to Tori, she's still none the aware of what one is, and still doesn't make me any kind of mother. Do you need a lighter for anything?
I do. I need to burn people to death.
No, thanks for that. No, that's... Tomorrow you could phone social services to say, when her daughter was out of the room, she said, "Do you want a lighter?"
No, she said the child was out of the room. Didn't she ask the child, did she want a lighter?
And if she didn't know what one was for, why would she say burn to it and alive?
That child is sitting listening to her talking on sensitive subjects. She talks about unaliving, she talks about racism. She is setting that child up for failure. Of course that child is going to say wild shit. Sorry for swearing on your platform. But of course she's going to. She doesn't understand it. She's only a little one, do you know what I mean? Any wonder she said, "I don't like black people," whenever she hears her mum ranting about them all the time, do you know what I mean? Like she, in a bad light as well.
Yeah.
Terrible that was.
Charlene, she said that I was touching myself while my kids are in the other room. Do you know what I mean? Like she talks about people having, like, she talks about people's parenting all the time. I'm not talking about her kids at all. Her kids are lovely kids, do you know what I mean? She needs to sort her shit out for them.
You're talking about her parenting. That's why I use specifically the word.
But on the trauma talk side, see, like people hide behind their kids. They're like, "Oh, you can't, like, you talking about my kids?" I literally go and lose my mind over that. I'm like, I'm not talking on your kids. I'm talking on you being a shitty parent.
Everyone's
Like,
talking about it.
I've not been. I've done shitty things. Do you know what I mean? I've like not been the best parent at times. Do you know what I mean? But I've like had to answer to myself this past year. Do you know what I mean? And I've had to reflect on things, and I've made efforts to make things better. Do you know what I mean? So she is just actively just saying, no, I'm never doing anything wrong. But then maybe the whole thing with her getting arrested in front of her kids and stuff, maybe your kids need to see that you can't do what you do. Do you know what I mean? Without consequences. But I wouldn't want our kids to go through the trauma of seeing their mum being handcuffed. Do you know what I mean?
No, me either. As much as I dislike her, they already have enough to deal with, and have allegedly had, and I say allegedly, things to deal with in the past. So no, for them, because at the end of the day, they love her, and children are very loyal. Even if they were severely beaten by their parent, we know children can be very loyal regardless.
Oh, 100%. And it's so sad. Yeah.
And that's probably why we hear her, the one in the background, saying some of these things, because a mum's crying on lives and stuff and upset and is putting it out there as a thing of being bullied or harassed or whatever. And that she's seeing that, and then she's going to be loyal to her mum because she thinks that her mum's going through something.
Baby, someone called her Mixie. Someone just called her Mixie, and she was sitting going, I'm being called the most horrific things online, and it's not fair. I'm being bullied. And everyone was just sitting there like, are you like, is there something wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? Like, someone called her Mixie, that was it. But it was horrific, and she was being bullied, and she was being targeted, and she was being dragged. I'm just like, stop doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to shield your kids from as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not okay. The thing is, like I said, sort of rounding up really to get ready to get into bed. Well, I am in bed, but actually, tuck up. But like at one end of the spectrum, you've got this whole plotting and planning about how you're going to interfere with someone's friendship. And then on the extreme side, you've got someone plotting and planning to have someone's life pretty much potentially destroyed and put them at risk of violence from people. And then what goes on in the middle, we don't know. And like I said, I can guarantee that, and I'd love it if it came out, that'd be amazing. But I know will have done a voice note and said, I need you to I'm going to just say this about After Dark so everyone hates her, and then she'll lose her platform or they'll all leave her. Or I know that's probably been voice noted or texted somewhere.
Can you imagine what we haven't heard?
Yeah, that's what I thought the other day. And she will never turn me and Beth against each other. That wouldn't happen.
No.
Apparently she's wished a lot of people unalived. There was a video the other day where she said she'd never wished anyone unalived. It's absolutely mental. But Kiki said, that's lies, Hayley. You have wished many people unalived.
And this is where I feel it's, it's probably a good spot to end the evening. But what would she do? How would she feel, being a true crime content creator, if something bad happened to Kiki after doing what she said and putting that in place and doing it, if she did it? Would they cover the fucking case? Like, oh, I loved her. Oh, I don't really understand. And then it would all come out that she'd orchestrated her as this pedo. That's what she would do. That's exactly how I would foresee it, actually. She'd cover the case like she's innocent in it all.
And she said about Paula, what she was shouting about Paula, and then Paula came in and she turned around and says she didn't want to, and she was like, don't trip in your house coat and strangle yourself with a cord.
Who says that, though?
Paula's been through a trauma that involves that.
With that.
When she was 3 months pregnant, so she wasn't, it was her husband. So, like, that really, like, I see listening to that woman's story about that Paul is a very, very strong woman, a very, very brave woman, but, like, see listening to her talk about that, like, hearing her cry, like, that's, you don't know who you're talking to, and you keep saying you've got a responsibility because you protect victims. Well, start protecting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That really upset me, that did. She was she's a strong person, and to see her that upset, that did hurt. That was a hard one.
Yeah, definitely.
Paula's lovely.
Yeah. I mean, the only person you can, I can't speak for the Observer, The Observer obviously knows what they know, and they probably don't want to drag it out. And it's between whatever's gone on, but for whatever reason, that what's the word? I guess friendship is terminated. And
In the bin.
yeah, she's doing her own thing, and is probably is seeing a lot of what we've seen, and she probably doesn't want like the drama of it all. So the only person who can answer that really is how. I wouldn't want to do that on her behalf. So unless she's she wants to explain, that's up to her. But I think she'd rather
On the association, he would want the association.
Yeah, no. She was good for her when she was doing things for her, but that's the same with everyone. We all get, even I helped her when she first started out, because, I felt very much, because obviously at that point I didn't really know her that well, and I'd seen some videos, and I thought, sharing is caring, and she'd come in my lives, and, I'd send people over there and I'd support her. And then when she saw money, and that is when I think she started to turn on everyone. And the thing is, you can't control people and tell them who they can be friends or can't be friends with, because you telling Julie that she can't be friends with me and Becca, that's not okay. Just because you feel intimidated we're in a lie, be a woman and just fucking cope with comments. Like, anything I say it. Like I'm saying it now, I'll just say it.
I think I got sent voice notes about that, Is it Julie?
Yeah, Julie recap.
Yeah.
Because they got on so well, because at that point in time, Hayley was sort of different, but I was alerted to a bit of the drama early on because of what happened with Becca Smith, because she dragged me into that with Becca Smith, and I didn't know Becca Smith at all. And I thought that she was being like targeted by that group of people, so I kind of defended her. And then I got into a conversation with Becca because she messaged me, I messaged back, and then I was going to go sort of my own way, but then we continued talking a little bit, and then we just sorted out what had gone on. Like, there was a complete misunderstanding through the things that I had been told. This person that at that time had no history of anything that I was aware of. And then obviously she repaired relationships with Becca, and then Julie came into the scene, and there was a good few of us. And then I think she started to see how money was coming in, like in the boxes and stuff. And so she worked her way into sort of targeting and having me pushed out. And then she tried to isolate Becca Smith and failed. And I think she thought that once she'd done with Becca, that Becca would then be on her own and wouldn't have anyone. But that didn't work like that, because we talked. We had communication. Becca said, "Can I ring you?" And we had a conversation and we sorted it. And we've never had a disagreement again. Sometimes I don't hear anything from Becca for months, and then I'll get a random message.
This is the thing is with the mods as well. I said to them, like, if my friend come to me and told me that this person was stalking them and doing all these horrible things, I'd be like, oh my God, they're an asshole, they're this, they're that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would defend my friend as well. Like, we all do it. I think it's a lesson learned to just not blindly go and attack someone now. Like I said, we all get caught up in the hype.
Especially when people are throwing the receipts out to prove the difference.
Exactly. Just have a wee snoop.
Yeah, just do your research. You can still support someone, but you don't have to believe everything that they say. And it concerned me in that first voice note about Adele and Beth O, that how she was talking about that. Mm-hmm. That how she was happy that she was just going to throw that out into the community, out there into the TikTok.
Adele, did she not say that you'd spoke to her?
Yeah, she was the last person on this earth.
She did say that Adele come forward to her, and then there was loads of whispers around.
Well, that's what she said in that video, that she was going to do that. She was going to say it, and then it would make them fall out with whoever. But the thing is, she was putting that out there. But
she was saying it was a lie.
saying it as a lie, knowing she wouldn't have any receipts, and she's confident that she can say that and put it out there, and then everyone is going to just go with it because they don't question, because they know if they say, oh, well, show us the receipt, because she never has a receipt, she just shuts them out and blocks them. The amount of people that I see come into Gemini's live and they're like, I've just been blocked for no reason, and they come in and they're like, I don't understand, I ain't done anything wrong.
Yeah, you're not allowed to ask a question that the dictator doesn't like, so you're not. But like,
I've never seen her say one receipt. Have any of you seen her put up one receipt? I've never.
No, she just spouts it off like it's gospel. The blind will follow and believe it, and as people come away, they then see it. And then all this stuff that's out there, even though they might not see it right now, when they come away, and they do, like, I never thought I'd see Miss Baguette coming away. I truly thought she would stay. I thought Alicia would stay, and like that would be solid, right? Because they seem to be solid in that group, and it's not solid. So if they're not safe, no one is safe.
No one. Like, look, Kiki was our bestie. Do you know what I mean? If she can do that to Kiki, she's going to do it to all of you. Do you know what? The good thing out of it is I've got so many amazing people in my life now, and me and Alicia have become friendly. I think it was over a year ago, and I've met so many amazing people, including yourself, after dark.
Yeah, same. Like, I mean, if it weren't for her, me and Mrs. P wouldn't have met.
Yeah.
When you know it.
True. Absolutely true, because I came looking for the receipts when was going on about AD, and I came and actually found that none of it was true, but actually I preferred AD, and I actually didn't like HC by that point, and I stayed, and I've not left.
Yeah, she came to see if I was what she was saying I was.
I hate this saying, oh, they're just out for a platform. Well, anyone who does social media and does lives obviously wants a platform. There's enough room for all of us dull faces.
Absolutely. We can all have a community. We can share the communities. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell.
I couldn't deal with a massive platform. I can't see there's 200 people in your lives. I couldn't deal with that all the time. I'm
not going to tell you how I feel about that. Sometimes I'll look away and the numbers go, and I'm like, I've even gone, oh shit. And people are like, what? And because I've realised, like, sometimes it's gone up and up and up, and I am a bit of a nervous person. Mrs. Peel to contest that. She knows I get a bit anxious about things when it's a lot, but I try not to look at the numbers.
The thing with you after that, the way you speak, the way you conduct yourself, and everything comes across so genuine, so nice. You're not condescending, you're not bitchy, you're not any of the things that HC is. So that's why, people continue to watch you. And I wish you had a bigger platform, to be fair. Because because the way you conduct yourself and the way you tell us about the things that you're reporting on and such, it's nice. You've got a nice way about you. You speak nice, you're respectful, and you just, like the last couple of cases this week where you've gone, this is all we know so far, and you've just reported the facts. You've not gone beyond the facts. You've said, this is all we know. As soon as we know more, I'll update everybody. Perfect. That's real reporting as such. That's what you do. So it just frustrates me that you haven't got more of a following. But I think that shows
she's got more than HC, just me.
I know. I understand that, but I'm just like,
we're not in the millions, I think is what she's saying.
Yeah.
You're going to get there, though.
It frustrates me that, that I think probably because of the drama that she causes that we see more of her than you. Should I say that?
I think if I reported in the same way, absolutely, the numbers would come in, because I think there's a certain amount of people that just want the drama, and they've come from the drama. They've come from Corey Wilde and Miss Red and everyone else. That's why she would go over there. But then also because she then it makes it look like she's talking to the lawyer, like, because they believe that. People want that, don't they? Like, that's what they want, and I would rather just be me.
Well, to be fair, I found her through you. I regret that, and that's your fault.
I've had a few people that have been over here, and then because she's then spun all the bollocks about me, they've then blocked me because she's told them to, and then they've gone over there. But then they always come back.
People with no common sense at the end of the day. If you've got half a brain, more than 2 brain cells, you can quite clearly see the scenario. So they're people that, love the drama, are vulnerable enough to take that as gospel and everything else. I'm just too savvy about that shit. I'm just one of them people that can suss people out straight away. The first time I saw her, I thought, ooh, and I followed her, to just confirm my feelings.
I followed her because she was bullied off the app before, and I was like, oh, this person, that's not fair. And then the first interaction I had with her, like, obviously that was whenever Dean passed away, I literally was walking to get kids from school, I fell to my knees crying. I was like, it was one of the worst times of my life. I was like, you are a horrible, horrible person. You can't even have sympathy for someone who's just lost the person they love. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's horrible, isn't it? Absolutely awful. But
it's fucking horrific at the end of the day. She's absolutely horrific. She's awful.
And at least I know that I've built my platform on just true crime, literally.
Honestly. Honestly, and being a true crime creator and being honest and genuine, and you can see that the way that you speak about what you report on is genuine. It's completely different than what she does. And there's a few of you that do it really well.
She calls it boring, but I'd rather be boring and on the spot and just get it out as it should be, than have all the hype around putting stuff out, especially attacking families. Don't believe we should be attacking families at all.
Doing that in a minute, isn't she?
Yeah. So, and that's why, it was quite funny when I was in that documentary, because obviously I was in there, and the documentary, the director and the producer were really good, and they said because they'd come over, they came to my home and they were there for a couple of days. They were like, you've actually shown us that actually not everyone is like wild crazy. And there was the bits that I was featured in, and then right near the end, they featured her in as she is, the troll. Right there in that spot, not given decent content or factual information, because she said one thing and then they put the police officer on and said, well, we did search the abandoned mansion. We did.
Yeah, I see.
That was funny as fuck.
Do you know the one thing that really hurts me though? We do the missing people and everything, right? And Mrs. P will sort of vouch for this. We get families that come in and say that so and so's been found, please can you remove my posts? I don't question it, I'll remove them, right? But then she've had it where they've gone to her, asked could they remove it, and the posts are still there. She refused.
Well, that's
so you don't need to remove it completely if you don't want that whole, because obviously sometimes TikTok can strike you if you're deleting too many posts at once. But you can put it under the privacy settings of for you only, so it means that you didn't get that TikTok strike. And you've
how many missing persons are going to be found that you're going to get?
Not many.
Most people, I've not been contacted for missing people to remove the post, but I'm also very selective on ones that I will cover, and I do tend to avoid youngsters unless they've been missing for a significant amount of time, because they're youngsters, and because my post, it's not something that I would I don't remove them. I continue to report on bits afterwards, like if they've been found and it's suspicious, or if not, this is the inquest job done. The family have got closure. We're moving on to the next person that needs to be found. Whereas with children, it's difficult because they are children, and a parent would be within their right to come up.
A parent with young children, so you respect that. You respect that
as well.
Boundary, which she doesn't. You respect that boundary and how that comes. And nobody wants to hear anything on the bloody internet, regardless of age, but especially when it's children. And you'll respect respecting that fact, and it's just quite clear what she is, isn't it? We all know what she is. It's just unfortunate, and it's just going to take time to get her cancelled at the end of the day. But I'm so glad and I'm so happy, because it's been over 2 years that I've tried to expose her, and it was only with the Adriana case that she came more to light and more people saw it. Unfortunately, people fell out and what have you, but thankfully, at the same time, unfortunately, what she's done to Ginger, but like I say, thankfully, she has not backed down. She's a force to be reckoned with, that beautiful woman, and she's continuing to fight, and it's just making it, she's out there, she's doing it, and all the injustice that she's done to us families and yourself and everyone else is coming to the forefront. And I'm so glad that so many more people have jumped on board. It's fantastic. I am. And I said this in the Adriana case, but, I'm just reiterating it now, because I thought it was over after that, if you know what I mean. I was like really disheartened, but seeing it again now, I'm like, woo.
But there's more people clubbing together, and there's people with receipts, and all those receipts will come good, and in the end it will just, even if it just brings people awareness around just not trusting her with their private information or their vulnerabilities or things that are happening. Do you know what I mean?
I agree that it's awareness at the end of the day. It's not bullying or anything like that. It's awareness that families don't trust her in the future, that families are aware of what she's done.
All the community, like, befriend them and then dish out their dirt. Do you know what I mean? Like, be careful what you're sharing with someone that's pertaining to be your friend, because the one thing that, out of all of this, when it comes to it, she's no one's friend. Unless you're giving her money at the time, she'll probably shout you out and big you up, but you're not her friend.
Well, isn't that ironic that now, because so-called friends are outing her, that now it's it's such a scandal, and it's such like, woe is me and everything, where she's done that to so many people, and so many vulnerable people that have been, mixed in the crimes that have happened that she's reporting on. So I just think it's great. I just think it's, like you say, it's great that people are coming together, and I'm so glad you spoke out, because you really need to, because of all the crap that she said about you, which is so unjust as well.
I'm not worried about the crap what she says about me, because it's laughable. Like, when she rants about me, at this point, I'm goading her to do it, right? Because I know she'll just lie. But when it came to that voice note, like, when, as I said, it could be anybody. It's not targeting her specifically. But when I hear a voice note like that, where they're pretending to set someone up as a peddler to cause them harm, that I have a problem with as a crime creator as well, that something could happen to that person because of a true crime content creator is threatening to do that, and obviously didn't expect that voice note to be posted out at any point.
No, she didn't.
That's why I've spoken on it.
It's horrific. What she was implying is absolutely horrific. What sane person would want to do that to somebody? That's because apart from the fact that she's psychotic and narcissistic and everything else, but that's how desperate she is, to shut people up, to not see the real side of her. But in the same breath, with these being outed, are showing the real side of her and what she really is.
Yeah.
Because anyone that can think that's justified is as bad as she is.
Yep.
And the ones that's left, the ones that's still there, just get to know people. Don't take on her word that everybody's horrible and we're all bullying and all this. Come out and meet us, get to know us. You'll realise it's all one big lie for yourself.
Because once they come over, they see it's all not true, and I think that's why I think she puts the fear of them like coming over, because she knows when they come over, that they're going to see it's not true, and that's cult. That's, like I said, it's cult behaviours. She is a proper. She's got that down to a T. The whole cult behaviour.
Narcissistic, isn't it? At the end of the day. It's a narcissist.
It's clever. It's very, very clever what she's doing.
The way she manipulates and twists. But I think anyone who is savvy enough can see right through her. I mean, I literally only watched one of the videos and I was like, ooh, that's not right. But that's just me, if you know what I mean. I mean, I can remember, this is a silly analysis, but my sister sent me to the shops when I was about 15, 14, to look at a guy at the bus stop who was the manager of the local co-op. And she said, tell me what you think. And I walked past him and he was like, all right. And I came back from the shop and I said, no, I've just not got a good vibe whatsoever. Don't. Anyway, she ended up marrying him, divorcing him, because he literally, excuse my French, I don't know, well, I will say, slept with instead of a majority of the area.
Oh, not what she needs, is it?
No, but I was like, no. I set eyes on the bloke and I was like, no. I've been married 38 years, so I kind of and not had any issues. But I'm one of them kind of people. I can see someone, look at them, and know exactly. I can see in a room of people. I'm one of them people that sits back quiet and goes, "You're a knob. You're this. You're." And I don't like. I'm not saying it being like horrible or anything, but I feel I can read people really well. And I watched one of her things and I was like, no. And purely because as well, that same sister might as well be her.
Well, yeah.
First-hand experience as well.
Amanda, you don't need to apologise, my lovely. Like, honestly, we can all see how it's done. You know, you've already apologised so many times. Like, honestly, I wouldn't. You don't need to apologise. Like, we take you as you are. Do you know, you are who you are, and you are welcome. We understand what's gone on, and there's probably things that have been done or said. Couldn't care less about it. Moving forward, we just move forward, don't we? Because life is too short, and you need to
grown up. You do, yeah. If you're grown up, you can have a disagreement and sort it out and move on.
And there's our Ursula as well. Hello, Ursula.
She gets everything personal, like a dagger to the heart, and then you're an enemy for life because she's immature and a narcissist.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she boils down to. That is exactly what she is. You're an enemy for life if you don't agree with every single thing that she says.
Yeah, and I'm not a yes person. I just if she told me I wasn't allowed to do something, I'd do it. That's just me. If I'm like that, I'm stubborn. You know, if my mum said, like my first husband, my mum fucking hated him, and therefore, and Mrs. Peel vouched that I'm stubborn. But I ended up marrying him because I knew it would piss my mum off. And I knew it was wrong on the day, but once it got to that point,
chuckling.
Couldn't take it back, could I? Oh, and it was an omen when the veil ripped in the car. I was like, oh, fucking hell, this is definitely something. I still went ahead and did it.
It's an omen.
I still did it. I still married him, and then I put up with it for so long, and then I got rid.
Yeah. I think strong women are quite stubborn, to be fair.
But you can tell you, I'm a stubborn bitch.
Yeah, you can be strong and loving though. I mean, like I was laughing actually earlier with my husband. We were laughing about, I can't remember what it was, but He's upstairs laying in bed watching telly. I'm downstairs. That's why it works. He watches Engines.
Right, I remember Mother paid for it, and see, she took over the whole thing. Like, I didn't have a say or anything. It was her wedding. I was just the bride. Yeah, it wasn't my problem.